Right guys, another day, another video, and you will sure enjoy this. Right at the end, I think I've made one of my most favourite projects. So watch right to the end, you'll see this, it's superb. So what I'm using is some pallet wood and some 4x2, 4x2 pine, 2x4 pine, and some of them pallet wood strips. So I've got an idea in my head what I want to do. Now, I've seen something very similar to this, but the way I'm going to do, I'm adding something to it, and I'm just varying the design a little. Um, it's something that everybody can do. I would give it a go. Highly recommend it, and I just can't believe how well the project turned out in the end. I was a bit sceptical in my head of how it had turned out with the little design changes I wanted to do, but it come out really well. So I'm just marking up and cutting through everything here. Let me know in the comments what you think of me creativity with my design and my angles and my camera work and all that kind of stuff. As you can tell, I'm no professional at it, but I'm trying to make the viewing experience as good for you as I can. So please let me know if you like it. And for viewers that want a shorter video, I do put a repeat of this video on. Might be tomorrow or the next day, sped up with a bit of music or whatever. If I get time to do it, that is. That won't be sort of all the time, but these are the main videos which will stay like this on a Wednesday and on a Sunday. So again, I'm just going in with this pallet wood there, and I really want to keep that sort of stamp that's on the pallet wood there, because I try and blend that in with the actual project. And I'm right near it, but I get it there in the end. This pallet wood, even though I buy it in strips, it's still really rough. The guys that must sort of de-nail it and get it sort of ready for sale and sell it in strips, fair play to them. So a lot of people have been asking about my new Boss saw. I'm getting to grips with it now, getting the hang of it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's suiting my purposes really well. So because there's a lot of these pallet wood strips here, I'm just using this sort of like belt sander thing I've got, just to get all the rough edges, the dirt off the pallet wood, that kind of stuff. I'm just giving it a clean now on them magic sticks. And I'm just finding it easier on the edge there, just to get how I want it, just get it right. I don't want to take too much off, but I need to get all the sharp bits off and all the splintery bits and all that kind of stuff. So here I'm trying to work out an angle, and sort of in my head, one mistake I'm making here, I should write everything down as I'm doing it and measure like sort of twice, and you'll see why shortly. So I'm just raising that blade just above the wood there. Just taking it easy, going nice through there, nice clean cut. I'll have another batch of these push blocks for sale soon as well. So if anybody wants one, just send me a message via email, and you can get me on email. If you go into the description, it will say something about if you want to sponsor or collaborate or something. My email address there, that's my personal email address, so you can get me on that. And another thing I want to start on my channel is showing other people's work, like as a screenshot within the video. So if you want to send pictures over of what you're making and your name, send it to that email address that's in the description. It's down there, you'll see it. So this, I'm just using my circular saw there, just getting a bit of practice in with it. I've just set up a block either side of that to support the saw. It's just one of them things, I'm just getting used to it, and I'm trying to be safe. So I'm using this to mark here. So I'm going to cut out like dados in the wood. If my pencil works, that is. And again, just marking out everything, just try to be as accurate as I can. I've got some really good videos coming up over the next couple of weeks, so if you would, and you're watching the videos, and please subscribe to the channel. It makes a massive difference. I think there's like, the stats are 70% of the people that watch my videos are not actually subscribed. I'm making this content for you, so please, if you would, just subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, because it helps me buy more wood. Everything I make from the advertising and all that kind of stuff just buys wood. That's all I use it for. So as you can see here, me joints are getting better. I was doing these and I was finding it much easier this time. I'm getting tighter fitting joints now, so that's getting better. I'm practicing all the time, which you will have seen on some of the videos. So this little bit of 4x2 here, I'm just going to sort of like cut some off, and got me Japanese saw there. These pull saws are brilliant. And I've just been sent some pull saws off another company, and I'll be reviewing them soon as well. So keep an eye out for that, because apparently they're really, really good. But I was surprised, these Japanese saws, the more sort of effort you put in, the less they tend to work, if that makes sense. Just take your time. If you're getting a Japanese saw, take your time. And when I was taking my time, it was just going through like a nut knife through butter. You can see there the cut worked perfect, but it didn't really matter. Just nice and easy, nice and easy. Just take it nice and easy. And it's really weird, because you're cutting on the pull, so that just takes a bit of sort of like getting used to. See there, I'm just getting used to it now, like using that pull stroke. So a little bit of design feature here. This is just more for aesthetics, and a little bit of a trademark that I'm tending to put on all my bits of woodwork now is these 3 holes. Just try and sort of always mix your projects up. That's a 25mm Forstner bit I'm using there. Just go straight through the 4x2, no messing. And it's got a backer board there to reduce the tear out. I do get a little bit of tear out, but you'll see in a minute. I'll just go over it with a router. So yeah, I'm trying to incorporate some hand tools, some power tools into my builds. A mixture of both. I'm just finding certain hand tools really pleasurable to use, like the Japanese saws. You know, you have a bit of practice with these tools. You can get a tool sometimes and you think, oh no, I can't do this, and it's too hard. And you just keep practice makes perfect. So I'm just putting a little chamfer on it. One side's alright, the other side, when I put that chamfer on, it just takes all that tear out away. So again, another hand tool, the Japanese rasp file, whatever you want to call it. It just takes that off. It's a Shinto rasp. I'm just trying to shape it over a bit. I just want to put a little bit of something different onto it. I'm just sanding over everything now, making sure everything's nice and to the touch. It feels really sort of smooth. Now this initially, when I was making it, was going to be for, and there's the mistake, there's where I should, but luckily that wood was twisted, so this mistake was irrelevant really. But I mean, it wouldn't have been if the wood weren't twisted. I had to go back here now and cut it again. Obviously the size was wrong, but the wood weren't right anyway, and I weren't going to use that wood. So what I was saying is, I was going to initially use this for indoors, but it's turned out that Shelley has commandeered it for the garden. So it's now outside in the garden, where she can sit with a nice cup of tea or coffee with a book. She loves reading, and chill out. she'll sit there reading books like she's a proper bookworm. I don't get it, me. I can't get it. Or people that go fishing, I don't get that neither. So I'm just going in with the screws here. Now I'm looking at this here. As I'm doing this, I'm looking at this thinking, I just want to change something. I really just want to change something here. I want to just, the old look. Now, you can probably guess what I'm making. I'm making a bench. But I just don't want to do a normal bench. Hence the stretcher that's through the middle there, where you see me sort of like carving the end with a rasp and that kind of stuff, with my 3 holes. I just want to do things a little bit different. And yes, I'm staining. I can stain. I love this stain, the way it goes on. Really easy. I'm not as good as Shelley at it, but it's sort of dead easy to do. So, you know, it's sort of foolproof. Hence, I'm doing it. So here's where I'm looking at these corners thinking I need to do something different. So what I end up doing is I end up taking it apart and I end up sort of try to sort of soften them corners. It's just a slight design change, but makes a massive overall difference. And at the end of the video, let me know what you think of the corners, what I've done to the corners. Can't really tell how it's going to look from this part of the video, but honestly, it does really make a difference. So I'm getting in more practice here with a saw, and you know what? Like, I had 4 corners to do with that, and it was, honestly, it was a breeze. So I'm going into I did the dry fit, made sure everything's fitting right and all that kind of stuff. And everything fits perfectly. My cuts in that joinery there is really good. But what I want to do is just put a screw in there as well. It probably wouldn't have needed the screw once it's dried up the glue, but it was just that I just wanted to, just to give it that little bit of extra security. If you think I'm wrong here, let me know. But it was just something I just had in my head to do, and I'm just plugging over them, and it adds to the design a little bit as well. But you can see that stretcher there where I've tried to make that look a bit different going across. Sort of a bubble effect type cut I've did there. And again, that sort of comes right down. You can't tell from the thing, but I've tried to sort of, with the rasp, made sure it's all nice and curved looking. So I'm just trimming bits for the top now. Just going over everything, making sure everything's sort of spot on. And what the stain's done with this pallet wood, you know, if you clean the pallet wood and use that spirit-based stain, it gives it a really nice finish. What do you think of that for a camera angle? I was absolutely bricking it, thinking the camera was going to fall off. Again, straight through. And then my push blocks there, there's no metal whatsoever in there, no screws or anything. They're all like got dowels through them and stuff like that, so if the blade goes through, it's not hitting any metal. So I'm just making sure here everything's sort of screwed down, nice and neat. And I don't bother plugging the top, and I don't screw the lats on to the sides. You can see there where I've made a curve going round. I just sort of use my brad nailer for the sides, but on the top, I used the nailer, the brad nailer, and I've screwed the top sort of slats on. I was a bit conflicted, and it's sort of like a bit of a mishmash of how I've done it, but it all in all, it works. So this is another design feature I wanted to add on. So normally you see benches and you see a bench and a table set, but what I wanted to do was integrate the table with the bench. Now they'll probably, if your engineer, if you've got a mind like an engineer where you can solve sort of problems, you'll probably be able to come out with a better design than what I've done here. But I think it works really well. What I've done, it looks good and it's different, and that's what you want to do, especially if you're selling your stuff. I'm just going through my scrap bin here just for some little bits that I need. I'm just trimming off there. That was a bit long, and I'm just going over everything now with the sand just to make sure it's all nice and feels really nice, and just going over the stain and everything. I just want a little bit of a scuff back look anyway onto it, because it just shows the grain through when I put the lacquer on and everything like that. You'll see what this is for in a second. You see them little bits there where I just need to go over with stain, which I do. So I've got loads of this sort of lacquer. Make sure you're well ventilated. I've got an open space there, but honestly, it's still quite dangerous. So make sure you've got the appropriate mask. This mask I've got here is one specific for sort of aerosol sprays and that kind of stuff. And honestly, I'm just going to show you the coat here, what I'm putting on it, but it gets about 5 coats of this, and I'll probably go to it again in a week or so and throw another couple of coats on, because now this is when sort of like Shelley's telling me she wants it for the garden this time. So there's the bench itself finished with them curved corners, the sort of squashed at the end stretcher, my 3 holes. Let me know what you think. The colour combination, the sort of dark black colour with that sort of rustic vibe going off the top. Looks quite modern, doesn't it, really, when you look at it like that? And there's a side table, and I've turned the side into a bit of a French cleat, and you can use that as a little side table, which is detachable. You could have a fold-up one there, like I said, if you're engineering minded. And here she is with a bench, a new bench that I've made, and it fits on there. She doesn't know how to fit it on. She hasn't got a clue, so I have to go and show her. And it just simply sits on there. She loves it. And Stanley's there at the side of her. She's got a book, got a brew. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments what you think. And don't forget, send me your projects via email and I'll put a couple of screenshots up. Don't forget your name. Thanks for watching, and on to the next one.